Another fight. Oh no.
Jagannatha family fight.
What year did Srila Prabhupada travel to the West to spread Krishna consciousness? The 3 points.
Is there a time limit?
There's no time limit, but you can discuss it. Upper 1965, is that correct?
That is correct.
Where did he put them?
Sky.
In the sky. Lord Brahma put them in the sky. Why did he do that for?
Put the story.
Copyright. It's only the chosen ones here. It's going to go back to God. The original and I'm your interpreter. We have to do this. Sorry?
Do you see if it's right with you?
This is a very old form of German. You may not recognise it. I think I might win the Oscar. Where's my little boy? Where's my little boy? Ah, there you are. Sit on my lappy. I'm gonna do it right now. Let it come now, quickly, orchestrate. Come in, my little darling. Beautiful
Awesome, man. Dymond, please. Hey, you boys up to it? Oh, get in! Get in! Come on, please, man. Come on, Let's have stuff. Oh, mate. Yeah,
I would have seen we did a puppet show last year, and that was a puppet show that was done with Muppets.
Enlivening to see such an enlightened crowd. We at Kalahari Puppet Company wish to tell you a little story about the birth of Krishna and his transcendental glory. We will use the medium of shadow puppetry, and it's really quite groovy. It's kind of like TV, well, an ancient traditional kind of movie. In case you're wondering about the setup of the stage, well, let me tell you briefly about the past forgotten age. The best seats you see were behind the shadow screen, and people would pay much more to see behind the scenes. So, their lordships and Srila Prabhupada are really in the best seats. Well, anyway, we'll present the show at the last of the lotus feet. Bye-bye! Mother Earth was overburdened by demonic kings posing themselves in the royal order. At that time, the whole world became perturbed, and the predominating deity of the earth, known as Bhumi, went to see the four-headed Lord Brahma, who resides in the heavenly planets, in Brahmaloka, to tell him of her calamities due to the demoniac kings. Bhumi assumed the shape of a cow and presented herself before Lord Brahma. She said, "Lord Brahma, the world has become so wicked due to these demoniac kings. I cannot tolerate the burden any longer. I will appear on this earth very soon, along with my supreme powerful potencies. I descend to annihilate the demons and to please my devotees. And as long as I am on earth, the demigods should assist me. The demigod should immediately take birth in the Yaga dynasty, where I will appear in due course of time. Also know that Ananta, my plenary portion, he who maintains the universal planets, will appear before me, and that my external potency, Maya, will also appear, just to execute my purpose. Now, back on the Earth planet. Once upon a time, Vasudeva had just married Devaki, and they were going home on their chariot. Kamsa, Devaki's brother, who was, well, let's just say he wasn't a very nice king. He took the reins of the chariot, and as per custom, drove his newly married sister to a new home. It was a wonderful occasion. There were different kinds of musical instruments playing, conch shells, bugles, kettle drums, all combined together, vibrating a very lovely concert. When suddenly there was a miraculous sound from the sky. Kamsa, you are such a fool! You are driving your sister on her chariot. But, Kamsa, you do not know that the 8th child of your sister will kill you! Kamsa was the most demoniac of all the Boja dynasty kings, and immediately, after hearing the prophecy from the sky, he caught hold of Devaki's hair and was just about to kill her with his sword, when Vasudeva spoke up. Kamsa, please, do not be envious of your sister. Do not be envious of anyone, because envy is the cause of fear in this world. Kamsa, if you kill Devaki, you will ruin your reputation. Oh, Kamsa, my dear brother-in-law, why should you be so much afraid of death? Death is already born along with your birth. From the very day you took birth, you began to die. Suppose you are 25 years old. That means you have already died 25 years. Every moment, every second, Kamsa, you are dying. I am dying. Why then should you be so much afraid of death? Final death is inevitable. You may die either today or in 100 years. You cannot avoid death, Kamsa. Why should you be so afraid? Actually, death means annihilation of the present body. As soon as the present body stops functioning, then you die. Then you have to take another body. The covering influence of material nature is so strong that the living entity is satisfied in whatever body he gets, and he identifies with that body with great pleasure. Therefore, Kamsa, I beg, please do not be so overwhelmed by the dictation of your mind and your body. Kamsa, for the present moment, you are safe. If there are any sons born of Devaki, I promise, I shall present all of them to you for necessary action. Because Vasudeva was a man of his word, when they had their first son, he took the little newborn baby to Kamsa. Kamsa was overwhelmed by the sincerity of his brother-in-law, but because he became fearful of death and fearful of Devaki's children, that he ordered that they be sent to prison. Within Kamsa's prison, Vasudeva and Devaki gave birth to a male child year after year, and Kamsa, due to fear, thought that each baby may be an incarnation of Vishnu, and therefore he killed them one after another. He was particularly afraid of the 8th child. Now when Devaki became pregnant for the 7th child, Vishnu ordered Yogamaya and said, Yogamaya, the 7th child is Ananta. Please arrange that he be transferred to the womb of Rohini in Vrindavan. Ananta, who is also known as Balaram, is the source of spiritual power and bliss, and he will appear as my brother. After this, I am personally going to appear in the womb of Devaki with my full potencies, and you shall appear as the daughter of Nanda and Yashoda in Vrindavan. And since you will appear as my contemporary sister, people of this world will worship you. When Ananta was transferred to the womb of Rohini in Vrindavan, it appeared to Kamsa that Devaki had suffered a miscarriage. Everyone was puzzled at the event. Finally, Devaki became pregnant for the 8th time. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that his appearance, birth, and activities are all transcendental, and one who understands him factually becomes immediately eligible to be transferred to the spiritual world. The Lord's appearance or birth is not like that of an ordinary man who is forced to accept a material body according to his past deeds. The Lord's appearance is explained in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He appears out of his own sweet pleasure. When the time was mature for the appearance of the Lord, the constellations became very auspicious. At that time, in all directions, east, west, south, north, everywhere, there was an atmosphere of peace and prosperity. There were auspicious stars visible in the sky, and on the surface, in all towns and villages or pasturing grounds, and within the mind of everyone, there were signs of good fortune. The rivers were flowing full of water, and lakes were beautifully decorated with lotus flowers. The forests were full with beautiful birds and peacocks. All the birds within the forest began to sing with sweet voices, and the peacocks began to dance along with their consorts. The wind blew very pleasantly, carrying the aroma of different flowers, and sensations of the bodily touch was very pleasing. Due to the disturbances created by demoniac kings, the sacrificial fire altar had almost been stopped in the houses of the Brahmanas, but now they could find the opportunity to start the fire peacefully. Being forbidden to offer sacrifices, the Brahmanas were very distressed in mind and intelligence and activities. But just on the point of Krishna's appearance, automatically their minds became full of joy, because they could hear loud vibrations in the sky of transcendental sounds, proclaiming the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Krishna was born, he assumed his Vishnu form, his four-armed Vishnu form, and he spoke to Devaki and Vasudeva as follows. I appeared in this Vishnu form just to convince you that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I could have appeared just like an ordinary child, but in that way you would not believe that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, have taken birth in your womb. My dear father and mother, you have therefore raised me many times as your child in previous lives, with great affection and love, and I am therefore very pleased and obliged to you, and I assure you that this time you shall go back home, back to Godhead, on account of your perfection in your mission. I know you are very concerned about me and afraid of Kamsa. Therefore, I order you to take me immediately to Gokul and replace me with the daughter who has just been born to Yashoda. Having spoken thus in the presence of his father and mother, the Lord turned himself into an ordinary child and remained silent. Being ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva attempted to take his son from the delivery room, and exactly at that time, a daughter was born to Nandi and Yashoda. She was Yogamaya, the internal potency of the Lord. By the influence of this internal potency, Yogamaya, all the residents of Kamsa's palace, especially the doorkeepers, were overwhelmed with deep sleep, and all the palace doors opened. Although they were barred and shackled with iron chains, the night was very dark, but as soon as Vasudeva took Krishna on his lap and went out, he could see everything just as in the sunlight. When Vasudeva was carrying Krishna, the darkness of the night disappeared. All the prison doors automatically opened. At the same time, there was thunder in the sky and severe rainfall. While Vasudeva was carrying his son Krishna in the falling rain, Lord Shesha, Ananta, in the shape of a serpent, spread his hood over the head of Vasudeva so that he would not be hampered by the rainfall. Vasudeva came onto the bank of Yamuna and saw that the water of the Yamuna was roaring with waves, and that the whole span was full of foam. Still, in that furious feature, the river gave passage to Vasudeva to cross, just as the great Indian Ocean gave a path to Lord Ram when he was bridging over the gulf. In this way, Vasudeva crossed the river Yamuna. On the other side, he went to the place of Nanda Maharaj, situated in Gokul, Vrindavan, where he saw that all the cowherd men were fast asleep. He took the opportunity of silently entering into the house of Yashoda, and without difficulty he exchanged his son for the baby girl newly born in the house of Yashoda. Then, after entering the house very silently and exchanging the boy with the girl, he returned to the prison of Kamsa and silently put the girl on the lap of Devaki. He again clamped the shackles on himself so that Kamsa could not recognize that so many things had happened. Mother Yashoda understood that a child was born of her, but because she was very tired from the labor of childbirth, she was fast asleep. When she awoke, she could not remember whether she had given birth to a male or a female child. So in this way, Krishna was exchanged. Krishna lived in Vrindavan and grew up, where he had many, many wonderful pastimes with all his friends. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma writes, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock feathers, and with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers, beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Shyamasundar is eternally manifest.